I don't want to go. I don't want to go. This is the time when I wish I had a twin that I could send in place of me, because those situations always worked out very well on television shows. I have to go to New York this week for work, and I have a very interesting relationship with New York in that I hate it, but I also respect it. I also have a very interesting relationship with traveling by myself in that I hate it, but also respect it. For those of you who don't know, in my pre-YouTube, pre-social media life, I lived in New York. That's where I went to college, and I didn't love it. And I have managed to not have to go back for 7 years now. That's a lie. I did go back in December of last year for my boyfriend's brother's wedding, but that was in Brooklyn and was pretty much taken up by wedding things the whole time. So even though we were in New York, I didn't really feel like I was in New York, if that makes sense. This time I'm going back. It's just me. I'm flying by myself. I'm only gonna be there like 2 days, and I really only have an afternoon to actually do things. But it'll be my first time going back on my own and my first time just being alone in New York again. I think it's gonna be a little weird. Kind of feels like seeing an ex for the first time in a very long time. On one hand, you're a little excited. You want to show off how great you're doing in your new life. On the other hand, traumatic memories. Anyways, so on top of New York just giving me anxiety in general, traveling alone also gives me quite a bit of anxiety. Now, Morgan, what is it about traveling specifically that makes you anxious? Wonderful question I'd love to answer. Packing. I'm really bad at it. I want to pack for every possible occasion. I want to pack for every possible weather event, whether that be a hurricane, a tsunami, a rainstorm, a tornado, or an earthquake. You always have to have your earthquake attire. I get extremely nervous going through security that they will open my bag and that I will then have to fit everything back into my bag in public, which I already don't like doing that by myself, so then in public it's worse. Of course, there's my flight getting delayed or canceled or me just missing it in general. The actual flying didn't used to give me anxiety. That's a new fear that I've developed, and I blame it on all the Boeing news because now it's in my head that doors can fly off, that we can pummel back down to earth at any moment. And the idea of being alone in a plane crash, well, not alone because obviously there's other people on the plane, but alone in the sense that I don't have any friends or family with me, that scares me extra. So for some reason, when I go on plane trips with somebody else I know, I'm okay. I'm not really that afraid of the actual flying because I'm like, you know what, if we die, we're dying together. Once the plane lands and I arrive at my hotel or my accommodation, then I'm usually okay. But right now, in this moment, complete mess. So we're gonna try to pack. It should be kind of easier than usual because I'm not packing for a long period of time. It is basically only 3 days, not really even. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be that complicated. So I basically have 3 outfits that I'm bringing. One for bopping around when I get there in the afternoon, one for work, and then one for in the evening after work. I also think I'm gonna pack this outfit because it's gonna be really hot there, like 90 degrees. So this may end up being my bopping around outfit if it's super uncomfortable outside because this is comfortable and it's sweat wicking and it's got pockets and there's shorts underneath the skirt so I can easily just sit in the park if I want to, because that's probably what I'm gonna do. I kind of just want to get a nice little drink and a nice little snack and just go sit in Central Park. I don't know if that's a lame thing to do with an afternoon, but that's what sounds good to me. For my liquids, I got these little containers. I have a lot of liquids, like more than your average human being. I've always struggled to get all my liquids in a carry-on. I honestly don't know how it happens. Like every time I go to pack my liquids bag, I'm like, it'll be fine. I don't really have that much. And then I certainly do have that much. I have more than that much. And I have these silicone bottles that I've used in the past, but I don't really like them because unless they're filled all the way up, it's kind of hard to squeeze things out of them. And then they're also kind of big, so they take up a lot of space. So I saw these sort of things on some other travel YouTubers channel, and I was like, those look fun and convenient and space saving. Because look, if they're like not all the way filled up, they're not taking up as much space, they're just flat. So they do just feel kind of like flimsy plastic, and I got them off of Amazon, but I'm hoping that they'll be helpful. So anyways, let's fill these up with my stuff. Okay, so it is now the day before I leave, and I'm just getting some last minute stuff together. Not really last minute, just stuff that I need to bring with me. I still need to pack my makeup, my hair stuff, but I'm gonna shower tonight. That way I don't have to shower in the morning. And then I need to pack my medications and my food. I should probably bring my own tea. A really fun thing about me is that I need tea like immediately when I wake up. So on trips, I bring like a tea kettle. It's not a kettle, it's like it's a tube that boils water. It looks like a bomb to TSA agents. But I bring that because then I can just boil water wherever I am and make my own tea. I don't really want to bring that though because I don't want to deal with them thinking it's a bomb. I could probably just get hot water from the bathroom sink. That's safe, right? I could go out and get tea, but I prefer to just have it right when I wake up because that gives me the courage to leave the indoors. So a little counterintuitive if I have to go outdoors to get the thing that makes me want to go outdoors. I'm gonna bring some workout clothes just in case I'm suddenly feeling ambitious in the morning one day and I want to get some exercise in. But I can't find the pair of shorts that I want to bring, and that brings me to the part of packing where I frantically look for something that I don't really even need to bring with me because the odds of me actually working out are so slim. But this happens every single time that I pack for anything, so let's do it as it's tradition. It should be in here. Keep my very organized athletic wear. But alas, they are nowhere to be found. But you know what I did find? Goose in little donut mode. Hi, buddy. Oh, I'm gonna miss you, sir. Doing little nose scratchies. We gotta get all our snugs in tonight, buddy. He understands the assignment. Ah, Goose, that's my face. Ah! I've woken a sleeping bear. Next place to look would be my laundry hamper. Goose, what are you doing? Goose, don't eat your paw. T-shirts, we've got jean shorts, closet floor. No. Bathroom floor. Also no. Next is the hallway. Oh, I just remembered that I told David that I would switch out his laundry today, and I have not done that. Okay, now back to our mission of finding shorts that we don't really need. Check David's hamper. Ah! Alas, we've located the treasure. And with no crying. I have a tendency to cry when I can't find things. I have a tendency to cry when I do a lot of things. It's crazy to me that some people can just pack for a trip the night before. Like, I have to start packing 3 days in advance. Like, no matter how long the trip is. Unless it's just like an overnight. But anything else, I need ample amount of time to think of everything that I could need. If I only have a finite amount of time, I get very anxious and then I start forgetting super obvious things like underwear. So please don't make fun of me for starting to pack like 2 days in advance for what is essentially a 48-hour trip. And just like the contents of this trip gives me anxiety. I'm not a huge like travel for work fiend. So I just want to make sure I'm as calm and put together as possible for the travel part of this trip since the contents is also stressing me out. Good morning. I am way more anxious than I thought I would be. I feel like I'm gonna barf. I didn't really sleep last night. And I don't know why. I'm so anxious. I always get a little anxious before traveling, especially before an early morning flight, and especially before I'm traveling alone. But this is different. Whew, okay. Nope, don't have time to cry. I feel like maybe it's because I'm going to New York, and that's just really settling in for me right now. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm kind of just having that feeling of when I used to have to go back for college, and I really hated that because I would just go back and feel really trapped. I can feel my TMJ acting up, my jaw getting tight from the stress. It's gonna be fine. I've done the flight to New York dozens of times. It goes perfectly fine. Uber situation at LaGuardia, way better than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, what am I saying? Like 8 years ago. When was I in college? My flight's gonna go well. I'm gonna have a nice afternoon. I'm gonna get a little treat. I'm gonna enjoy a nice relaxing evening. I'm gonna take a long everything shower. I'm gonna do a face mask. I'm gonna watch TV. I'll maybe edit some videos in my nice little hotel room. It's gonna be great. The next day, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna see all my coworkers. We're gonna have a great day together. We're gonna have a great evening together. And then I'm gonna get on the flight in the morning the next day. And I'm gonna come home. And I'm gonna see Goose and David. I'm gonna feel relieved. And that's what's gonna happen. right, we made it. It's very quiet in here. So quiet that it's kind of scaring me. The plane didn't crash, so that's great. Here's my little hotel room. I'm very hungry. They have this kettle corn here. It says with our compliments, so that means free, right? I think I'm gonna eat this popcorn and freshen myself up, and then we're gonna go out into the world. Oh my god. That's a great start. Do you think it's safe to eat popcorn off of this carpet? They vacuumed the carpet, right? We're going with the sporty spice look today because it's 92 degrees outside. I don't have the energy to look cute in that type of temperature. And I don't even want to put on makeup. What if I just wear sunglasses the whole time? I'll put on mascara. I am starving. I need to find somewhere to get a sandwich. Amy's Bread Cafe. Oh, that doesn't have very good reviews. The Picnic Basket. That place closes at 3. Where'd the picnic basket go? Oh my god. Choking on the kettle corn. 6-minute walk. We love that. Okay, how do I order from here? Order pickup. French goat cheese. Sun-dried tomato pesto, grilled zucchini, fig spread, tomatoes, and greens. I don't really like grilled zucchini though. I don't really want a salad. Sandwiches. I could just go to Pret. It's kind of lame though. Wait, this place closes at 3, but that means I still have 45 minutes. Oh, why don't you have pictures of your sandwiches? That would make this a lot easier. Oh, prosciutto, burrata, lemon, basil, pesto, and sun-dried tomato paste. That sounds good. So I ended up putting on full makeup to make myself feel more alive. And then I had a moment of hanger and tiredness come together as one, and I was getting very frustrated. I was trying to figure out where to get food, because the great thing about New York is that there's so much good food, and the terrible thing about New York is that there's so much good food, it's really hard to decide. So I found somewhere to get a sandwich and a croissant, and that took me a good 30 to 45 minutes. Which is embarrassing. I'm gonna get out of here now. I need to get outside. I need to get my food. I need to get it in my belly. And then I'm just gonna wander around. I think I'm gonna go to Central Park. This is gonna be the most boring New York vlog ever. But, you know, we're doing our best. Oh my god, I'm running on fumes right now. Okay. Oh, I also changed my top. Did I already say that? Because I felt like my other one was see-through, and I didn't want the people of New York to see my boobs, even though they've seen a lot worse. Oh, okay. Let's go see the city. So guys, I thought this was gonna be a cute little afternoon vlog. We'd get some food, we'd sit in the park and chit chat, maybe we'd even stop by a shop, but no. I was so overwhelmed, I barely even got my camera out. The walk up to Central Park was sweaty and overstimulating. Granted, I did accidentally navigate myself through Times Square, so that's my bad. I got dripped on by a lot of air conditioning window units. I also forgot about the distinct smell that New York has. And I'm not talking about the urine trash smell, but when I hit like 9th Ave and 47th Street, the smell just hit me and I was instantly transported back to college. Like, it's so weird how powerful scent is. Anyways, I found a little spot in Central Park to sit and read, but it was also crowded there, even at like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday. So I was just still too overwhelmed to be talking to a camera. And I tried to lay there and relax for about an hour before I ran out of water. Which at that point, I wanted to go to one of the cafes you guys had recommended to me. And I got there and they were all out of ice. And I desperately needed a cold drink. So I just got this random watermelon juice and then visited my old apartment before going back to my hotel. I just listened to I Hate It Here by Taylor Swift on repeat the whole walk back. It was a little emo moment. Really hadn't clicked with that song until this instance. Like, I'm lonely but I'm good. I'm bitter but I swear I'm fine. This place made me feel worthless. That could be the theme song to my New York life. But alright, anyways, back to on camera Morgan. Alright, here we are. End of the day. Showered because I was unbelievably sweaty. I can't remember the last time I have felt that sticky in every crevice of my body. I got Chipotle. I'm gonna eat it in this bed. What I realized today is that I don't know how the I lived here. I literally walked over to my old apartment and more or less did my normal commute from my apartment to school, because my school is in Midtown and it was about a 30-40 minute walk every time I would do it. That's basically what I did, and I wanted to pass away. This city is so loud. And for the love of God, does nobody walk with a purpose? I don't remember people dilly-dallying this much when I was here. I had to do a lot of bobbing and weaving and maneuvering and spins and jumps. No spins and jumps. I'm not a Mario character, but people were not walking like they know how to walk. I honestly felt very uncomfortable filming. I feel like I've done a shit job on this vlog because I get very nervous whipping my camera out around people, and it was just constant people. And I feel like in Chicago, if I want to find a quieter place, I can find a quieter place. I just could not find a quieter place here. And I don't understand how I put up with this constant stimulation. I'm holding a tiny bucket of sour cream, and I feel like it's a really bad idea to have on this bed. Anyways, I, to be completely honest, have no idea what direction this vlog has gone in. I can't remember what I filmed last. I don't know what I'm gonna film next. All I know is that I don't hear enough people talk about the fact that New York is insane. It's so romanticized, and like, yes, it is a beautiful city. There's tons of opportunity. There's so much history, blah, blah. It took me 45 minutes to go 3 blocks in an Uber. 45 minutes. I would have just gotten out and walked if it hadn't been 92 degrees and I didn't have 2 heavy bags with me. Really want to eat this burrito, so I think I'm gonna have to hang up with you because I don't want you to see me eat this, to be quite honest. Other things I forgot to tell you, I FaceTimed with David when I got back. I really miss him. It's only been like 7 hours. I also really miss Goose. I saw a golden retriever in the park that looked just like him, and I could have started crying. I'm gonna do a face mask after I eat the burrito. I'm very excited about that. Very concerned about eating this in this white bed, but I'm gonna try to do it. I need a plate or something. I'll eat over the ice chip bowl. All right, well, you're not gonna see any of tomorrow because I'm working all day tomorrow. So the next time you see me, we will be debriefing. We will be heading back to our lovely, welcoming home city of Chicago, where it's quieter and people walk better. All right, good night. Pussy. Cookie scratches. So I'm home now. I just finished editing the video that you just watched. And honestly, I wasn't sure what to do with it. I kind of planned on just making a cute little New York City vlog. I really thought I would get there and that I would actually enjoy it because I'm just like a more confident, happier human being now compared to who I was when I was living there in college. Like, I really thought I would enjoy the day just walking around, exploring, having a good old time, and obviously that's not what happened. And as I was editing the video after I got home, I realized that most of the footage I had was just me getting ready to leave, and the actual amount of footage I had in New York was very minimal, to the point where I was like, is this even worth sharing with the world, or at least the couple thousand people who consistently watch my videos? Love you. But ultimately I decided it was still worth posting, clearly, because here you are watching it. But I felt like, one, it showed a pretty accurate depiction of what it's like to travel, and especially travel alone, as somebody who's very anxious. It involves several days, if not weeks, of worrying. Second, I felt like it gave a realistic look at what it's like to try and vlog and create when you're in a very anxious state. Like, creating really doesn't always go as planned, and there's certain situations where I really do get so overwhelmed that I just can't even like press the record button. And then third, I thought it gave an unromanticized, albeit brief, take on New York. Most of what I see on the internet about New York, or at least on YouTube, are these idealized views of the city. A lot of people who really only show the nice parts of living in New York, or they may also show the not so ideal parts, but they're like, oh, it's so quirky, we have trash on our streets, oh, it's so quirky, people catcall me all the time, oh, it's so quirky that there's rats everywhere. And like, to some people it's not quirky, it's just off-putting. I just think there needs to be more realistic takes on living in New York, on visiting New York. And I'm not saying that anybody who vlogs about New York and romanticizes it is lying. I think they probably truly do enjoy living there, visiting there, whatever they're doing, because New York is a very cool city. And I definitely think it's worth visiting. And if you do have a dream of living there, I think you should live there. Because either one, you will fall in love with it, or two, you'll check it off your list and realize that it just wasn't for you. Either way, it'll make you a stronger person. At the same time, I think we need to get rid of the idea that if you move to New York, your life is going to completely change. You're going to become this amazing, wonderful person. You're going to have this amazing, wonderful job, and your life will be like a TV show, because odds are it probably won't. And that can kind of go for any city, but I feel like just New York especially, we've really got to bring that expectation down for folks. But anyways, so that's how my trip to New York went. The day I spent at work went really well. I felt a lot less anxious that day. I do think there's something to be said about just being around people you enjoy. I think that's the main thing when it comes to whatever city you choose to live in. You need to have good community there. Because once I walked into work and realized I wasn't as alone and isolated as I was when I actually lived in New York, I felt a lot better. I still hated how hot and sweaty I was. I still hated how overstimulated I was. But I definitely felt more at ease. So that's that. This is why we don't talk and drink at the same time, Morgan. Thanks for coming along with me on this vlog and mostly just listening to me talk about packing and how anxious I was about going. And hopefully in the next vlog, we'll be going somewhere that I'm actually really excited about and will be a little bit less of a negative Nancy. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. And like I said, hopefully I'll see you on my next adventure that I'm actually excited for. Bye.